Okay, so welcome to part 2 of this introduction to screenwriting. So in this part we're going to look at Celtx, which is screenwriting software. So it takes out a lot of the work involved in trying to format your script in the correct way and use the correct spacings and so on. It all makes it very easy, so you don't have to worry about any of that, and you can just concentrate on getting the content right, and that's where you're going to get your marks. So let's make sure that you are able to use Celtx, and fortunately enough, it's very easy, but you do need to make an account first. It's free, but you do need to make an account, just as with many of these things. So when you first load it up, you're going to hit a screen similar to this one. So go through the normal sort of account registering process, hit sign up, and then go with that, and it should be fairly easy. Now obviously I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in with that. Okay, so once it's loaded up, you should come to this screen. Now it's going to ask you, hey, what do you want to create? So obviously we want to create film and TV. So we'll go click there, name your film and TV project. Let's just call this the Classroom. That's the name of our dummy project. Okay, so then we hit create project, and it's loading, and there we have the Classroom, and we have various things that we can use: a screenplay, index cards, or storyboard. Now we're only interested in the screenplay. We could create all of those sorts of things within Celtx, but we don't want to. We just want to make a screenplay. So we hit that, and here we go. This is our main screen, the editor in Celtx. You can do the online sort of guided tour if you like, that helps you get used to it and you prefer to do that, and that's fine. But I'm going to close that for the time being. Now the first thing it asks you to do is it's naturally formatted it on scene heading. So you can see in this window here that I'm scrolling around, scene heading, that tells you what you're formatted to do currently, because it thinks that obviously we're going to start a scene, because that's what you would generally do at the start of a script. Okay, so let's say I want to start a scene. So my scene is going to be inside a classroom, so it's going to be interior int dot classroom. That's where it's going to be. Help if I spell it right, of course. And it's going to be taking place in the daytime. Now if I hit enter, then it naturally assumes that I'm going to now be writing some action description. So you can see that here it's formatted to action now, because it thinks that I want to write that. So that is indeed correct. So let's begin with some scene setting. A dark, and again, help if I spell correctly, a dark and dusty classroom. It looks like it hasn't been used for a long time. Computers sit silently on the desks, and motes of dust hang in the air. Not in the sir, in the air. Okay, now I've hit enter there, and I'm going to write a new block of action. So I'm going to introduce a character, a young man of about 19 years old bursts into the room. He looks panicked and desperate, blood streams down his face from a cut on his scalp, which is still bleeding heavily. Alright, so I have introduced a place and a character. We don't know who this person's called yet, so let's give him a name. This is, let's call him Jim. Now it's the first time we met Jim, so I've put it in capital letters. This is Jim. Alright, so if I hit enter again and it still thinks I'm going to write some more action description. Now, I could do that and advance the story a little bit more, but for the purposes of this, then I want to write some dialogue. So I could change it up here to character, because we need to say who's speaking the dialogue first, and it would be Jim. And then I hit enter, and again it's trying to be smart, so it thinks that I want to write some dialogue, which I do. So I can write, I don't know, he's calling out, hello, is anybody there? Right, so that's what he's writing. Now if I hit enter again, it says character, because it thinks that I'm going to be introducing another character who's going to be answering Jim. Now I don't want to do that. I want to go back to some more some action description, so I can manually change that in this drop down menu by going to action and saying Jim looks around nervously, and then I'm going to break up the pacing a little bit. No response, so you have to hit return to give a new line there. Don't be afraid of using white space, empty space. It can give us a good sense of pacing, and a screenplay should be formatted in that way. It shouldn't be big chunks of text all the way down. There should be plenty of empty space on the page. So there we go. You can go through just like that. Now let's say we wanted a new scene. We can very easily hit scene heading, and let's say we go out to the car park, exterior car park day, and then we could start writing some new scene description there. So that's basically it. That's how you use Celtx. What you might want to do is also use these functions at the top. So obviously file, we can it automatically saves, by the way. We can export the script to text, or we can import a script if you've done something in a different way. But you can also print and download the PDF, so you can turn it into a PDF and save that on your computer. At the moment this is just online, so it's sort of saved in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about it being on different computers. And really the best way of getting to grips with it is just by having a go. So get an account on Celtx, get going with it. Make sure that you know what it is you want to write before you begin writing. You should have your story beats all planned out, and then just get to it and see how you get on. Remember, the most important thing is making it clear and making it obvious to the reader what is happening. But if you do those things, I don't think you'll have too much trouble. If you do have any trouble, then get in touch. Okay, good luck.